Okay, so we have a recommendation here, and this is the Pretender by Foo Fighters. Now, I've heard some Foo Fighters tracks in the past, but I don't know which tracks are which. They all sound very similar to me, to the point that whenever a Foo Fighters track comes on in the radio and I'm in the car with my wife, we ask if this is a new release or if it's a song from years and years ago because they all kind of sound very similar to us. I know there'll be fans out there that completely disagree with that, but when the only experience you have of a band is via radio airplay, then you're not really paying that much attention to them. You're not really listening to the lyrics. You're just hearing the general tone, the general groove of the band, and that's what we think. So this is going to be a more purposeful listen, which I'm quite looking forward to because I don't think I've ever done that with Foo Fighters. So this one's called The Pretender. This is the calm before the storm. Here we go. Go. This is coming. Black line in the floor. You gonna cross it? That's catchy though, isn't it? Hold on, let's hopefully I can do a little fade out there so it's not too jarring for people. I'll have to stop it. Fair use, all that. You know what we have to do. This to me, it sounds like Foo Fighters. Does that make sense? But I like it. There's some interesting stuff happening here in the lyrics, I think. I've got them up on the side here. So this keep you in the dark, you know they all pretend, keep you in the dark, and so it all began. Send in your skeleton, sing as their bones come marching in again. The need you buried deep, the secrets that you keep are at the ready. Are you ready? And this sounds like I was gonna say the Foo Fighters, but looking at the channel, it's Foo Fighters. I was sort of the Foo Fighters. Foo Fighters, okay. It sounds like Foo Fighters. Although now I've heard this one more intentionally, the melody's great. And that chorus is great. Like really catchy. And now actually looking at the lyrics a bit more, this idea of keeping you in the dark, you know they all pretend. You know, what's going on here? They keep you in the dark. You know they all pretend, keep you in the dark, and so it all began. And we've got this repeating line of what if I say I'm not like the others? What if I say I'm not just another one of your plays? Which is interesting. You're the pretender. What if I say you'll never surrender? And we've got this big open arena. We've got the band on one side. We've got this black line. We've got this, I don't know, what looks like some kind of public order type figure coming towards them. But did he stop at the line? I think he did. Yeah, I'm not going to go back because they'll just wreck where I am. Okay. Let's just carry on. These are my just some very initial thoughts. I'm just another soul for sale. He just got his baton out. The page is out of print. What's he waiting for? We are not permanent. Temporary. Oh, a little breakdown.
I'm the voice inside your head you refuse to hear. I'm the face that you have to face, mirrored in your stare. I'm what's left, I'm what's right, I'm the enemy. I'm the hand that'll take you down,
Oh, they're preparing.
bring you to your knees. So who are you? Yeah, who
Oh, this sounds good.
are you? Yeah, who are you? Yeah,
Charge. It's gonna drop. There we go. Oh, this sounds good. Those backing vocals. Nice, nice. I liked it, and it feels like straight away. This is reaction. This is what's coming up for me. But this idea of the pretender. What if I say I'm not like the others? What if I say I'm not just another one of your plays? You're the pretender. What if I say I'll never surrender? That can be taken so many different ways. My mind just splits into loads of different considerations of what this could mean. And I guess that is part of my experience of this. And that's pretty cool, isn't it? There's this potential false self versus authentic self split going on. You know, a pretender being this self that's being constructed to fit in, some kind of mask built for survival. This compliant self that just wants to fit in with everyone else, where this defiant voice, this authentic self, is buried underneath trying to get out, wants to be true to itself. But then I think, is there something more relational here? You know, is I'm not like the others speaking to feeling misunderstood, speaking towards feeling manipulated and used by people. And this line of another one of your plays speaks to those relationships that are manipulative, these relationships that are staged in terms of it's one of your plays. And that could relate to family systems, it could relate to peer groups, it could relate to romantic relationships. Maybe there's some Jungian shadow confrontation at work here. You know, there's a line saying, I'm the voice inside your head you refuse to hear. It sounds like something inside demanding integration with the rest. And this idea of the enemy is the rejected part wanting to be brought back in, wanting to be reintegrated. It doesn't want to be excluded anymore from the rest. Or maybe, as a trauma therapist, this comes up straight away, there's a trauma and protective adaptation function here. You know, a person who has experienced trauma, experienced criticism, experienced control, and as a result of that, there has developed a strong protective self. Maybe all of those things are just kind of the same when you think about it. They're just different ways at looking at the same thing. The underlying processes there feel quite similar. However, given all of those potentials, where my mind has just gone, and it feels like actually they probably have those ideas probably have more in common than they do have differences. I mean, they're all about protection and different parts of us that are longing to be reintegrated. Or maybe not all of those ideas. But I think there are commonalities between them. And we see this idea, don't we, in the music video itself, where you've got the band on one side and these public order people on the other side with this line in the middle. And it feels like this side, the public order side, are trying to bring the band across to join them to reintegrate. But the band aren't going, they're resisting. And I instantly think of something like internal family systems here. And this idea of the part of the exile, the exiled part. And this is all metaphorical, but it's a way of understanding what's going on. You have this exiled part, which is the part that has experienced suffering and pain and trauma and adverse experiences. And the protector parts push that part out to protect the whole, the person, from experiencing that pain and being reminded about that pain. Because in this video, the arena embodies both parts, doesn't it? Such as a human body does. It embodies both sides. Imagine what that must be like for the container, for the arena, which in this case would be a human, to have that internal conflict and having this exile part pushed out because it's full of pain that the other parts and the whole don't want to experience. But that exile part, it wants to be cared for. It wants to be heard. And if we think about the lyrics again now within this framework, keep you in the dark, because the other parts don't want you to be heard. They don't want that pain coming up. They all pretend. Like they pretend you're not there. They've pushed you out. And so it all began this splitting, this fragmentation, and that idea of that voice inside your head that you refuse to hear. Is that the exiled part desperately wanting to be recognized? But despite all of that, and this is where things get really difficult, is that exiled parts, if my understanding is right, often don't want to be integrated, despite wanting to be heard and seen and soothed and cared for. They don't want to be integrated into the whole because there's fear there that those experiences might happen again. And remember, the rest of the system has outcast it, it's banished it at some point. How does the exiled part know that won't happen again? And have to go through the hurt and the pain of once again being rejected and abandoned. No, it maybe doesn't trust that system anymore. So it becomes resistant to being reintegrated, such as we see the band here and their resistance. I don't know. Maybe I'm really overthinking this now. I feel like I've come out of the music a bit and I've gone really heady and cognitive. But maybe that's okay. Perhaps that's okay. It sounds cool as a track though. You could rock out to that. You could scream that out in the gym. Well, I don't know if there's other people around, maybe not. But it could get you worked up, couldn't it? I think that's it. I think that's all I've got to say about this. I feel like I've been talking a lot. My mind gone off on one again. And remember this, it's just a reaction, it's just what comes up for me. The song might have absolute, or the lyrics might have absolutely nothing to do with that at all. But given my history, my experiences, my education, my experience, then that's what my mind comes up with. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed that. Take care. See you later.